Hi traders, welcome to our midweek market review by Trade Genius Group. We're looking at the Australian dollar ring pairs today. That is the Australian dollar against the US dollar, the US dollar against the Japanese yen, and then finally putting them together, the Aussie dollar JPY. Before we do so, just a quick heads up. We have been tracking this S&P 500 now, mainly because we are gearing towards the midterm elections coming out on November 4th in the US, and history has obviously shown us that the S&P during this time is extremely volatile. In fact, more times than not, we see sell-offs on the S&P during the build-up to these midterms, and then probably more often than not, we see that post the midterms, the S&P starts to pick up. You can read about that on our blog. Just look at our latest TG signal that we upload, and it gives you a full set of details on the S&P chart there. So right now sitting on the support with a make or break type scenario around about the 1970-76 price. Okay guys, without further ado, let's have a look at the technicals for this week. We're focusing on these Aussie dollar pairs, not only because the Australia dollar is extremely oversold, but also because there's a lot of focus this week on the euro and the dollar, and we felt that it's going to be a little bit too volatile, a little bit too dangerous for traders to step in on there too heavy, and this pair might be a more suitable alternative. Here we have the Australia US dollar weekly chart, guys. We can see here the huge downtrend, and I'm just circling you now a potential technical shape there. It's sort of formed an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, a right shoulder, and an inverse head in the middle. But to be honest, the right shoulder has sort of gone a little bit too low for comfort and kind of lost that technical pattern a little bit. So we're kind of just making some sort of double bottom here, just around the 86.78 level there, as I highlighted. If we move now to a daily chart, we can see this double bottom here. On the left, you can see the far left one touch down there and support around 86.78. That's 0.8678, and now I've just circled you the current price there. So that also offers potential reversals and pullbacks, at least for the midterm on this pair, that you want to keep an eye on. We've moved now to the dollar yen. Again, we've seen the Aussie dollar against the US dollar. Now we're going to look at the US dollar against the Japanese yen, and then put them together and look at the Aussie dollar against the JPY. So here the USD JPY, we see obviously very strong dollar in recent months. You can see here the Japanese yen weakness, and I've just circled a resistance level at 110.70 that was tested in the past and that might be retested now. We see here on the weekly chart, if we zoom in, we're coming towards that 110.70 resistance by the upper red line. We're very close to it now. You can see that there is a sort of wedge shape and trend line forming here, which does offer potential rebounds when we get towards that price. So you want to keep an eye on that, but obviously generally across the board we've had a strong dollar and a weak yen, and in the long run that looks like it's going to continue, but in the short run there seems to be a need now for a pullback there, so keep risk management pretty tight. Now when we put them together, guys, we're going to see the Aussie dollar and the Japanese yen, both currencies been very weak in recent months and over the last year, but we see that the balance of power here is moving in favor of the Aussie dollar, meaning that the general trend is showing that the Aussie dollar is slightly stronger than the Japanese yen as a currency. It's ranging pretty strong here. The range is from 94.60 to 98.70, so you have a few hundred pips there. And if we now look at a weekly chart, we can see here this range in a bit finer detail. You can see here I'm highlighting it with the red line. And what this means is that we're currently approaching the lower support line down towards the sort of 93 prices, certainly below 95 prices. And so for now, people are looking to the bearish side. If we see any breakouts to the downside there, obviously it enables you for the breakout trade with a tight stop. I've just drawn you here a possible support line coming in actually just around 92 levels. Obviously, if we see any breaks to the upside of this range that I've just shown you, then you want to just capitalize on that by entering long. So keep an eye on that, guys. Again, range traders there can just buy off the lows and sell off the highs. Breakout traders will wait till we approach either the low level for a short position or the upper resistance line for a long position. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it with regards to the technicals. Remember the fundamentals this week. still to come. Today's US ADP non-farm, big news there. And obviously tomorrow we have the ECB rate decision and press conference together with US unemployment claims. And of course the major news every Friday, first Friday every month, the USD non-farm payrolls. So you want to, that will shake up the dollar markets. Have a great rest of the week, guys, and trade safe.